Archers all over the world are working on dealing with these unprecedented schedule changes, and in this video, I'm going to work on covering how to adjust, overcome, and achieve your goals during these times. I've had a ton of questions, comments, and emails asking me what I would do during these times. How would I stay motivated? How would I continue training? Would I change my training at all? And a lot of other similar questions. And hopefully in this video, I'm going to give you the tools and skills that you can help develop on your own at home in these times and get a competitive advantage from it. For those of you that are new here, my name is Jake Kaminsky. I'm a two-time Olympic silver medalist in the sport of archery. I'm working to make this channel a great resource to all types of archery, from form, tuning, strength training, training guides, really trying to help make you a better archer. So if you're serious about archery, start by hitting that subscription button and the notification bell. That way you're notified every time I upload a new video, which I am doing quite often recently. I'm really just trying to make you a better archer and to reduce the growing pains that I had when I was growing up, so ultimately you don't have to go through those same issues.
You're watching the Jake Kaminsky YouTube channel.
So yeah, like I said, we are in unprecedented times. You know, there's events, tournaments canceled all over the world. There, even events that are later on in the year that haven't been canceled yet probably are going to be canceled or postponed, or at least you can continue to assume that based on the progression that is happening right now. Ranges are shut, shops are shut. It's really difficult to get out there and stay motivated, especially because there is no end in sight, at least for the foreseeable future. So what would I do? How would I approach this situation? And hopefully I can help motivate you and keep you going forward. So basically, right now is the time to make changes. Now is the time to do the work, to put in the time, to make the changes, make adjustments, discover new things, overcome hurdles that you've really been wanting to overcome. Now is the time to do it. That could be form, mental, or equipment changes. That could be anything. That could be your overall health. That could be anything. Now is the time to do it. Now is the time that you will really gain benefits from going deep inside and fixing the issues that you knew you have been struggling with, or discovering new ones that you haven't yet overcome. Right now, you need to do what others won't. Do what other people won't do. Right now, so many people are saying, oh, it's time off, I'm unmotivated, I just can't get to it. So if they're doing that, you can gain a competitive advantage by putting in the work now, really trying to ingrain something new that you've really been trying to learn, try some new piece of equipment, change your tune, change your training plan, experiment, and find out what really makes you a better archer, and that will make the biggest difference in the next season when we finally can start competing. What I would do is I would really try to work on forming new habits. Form new habits for success. That could be a warm-up plan. That could be a mental approach to the day of shooting. That could be treating every single arrow as each individual arrow instead of looking at the tournament and the score as a whole. There are many, many little habits and many little changes that you can make that will add up to being a monumental advantage. Now, something recently that I have really enjoyed doing is listening to audiobooks when I'm doing stuff around the house, when I'm cleaning up, when I'm working on coming up with ideas to try to share with you guys. When I'm even just doing basic menial tasks, I'm trying to use these times right now to still better myself, and I know that you can do the same as an archer. So I have 2 audiobooks that I would absolutely recommend on Audible. Right now I have some affiliate links down below in the link in the description where if you don't yet have an Audible account, you can get a free account for 30 days. After those 30 days are up, you don't have to continue your membership. However, you still get to keep the free download, the free book that you do download from having that trial membership forever. Also, if you already are or were a Audible member, there's a link down there for you to re-sign up and get free benefits as well, similar to what I'm discussing now. And those include a free download of books. And what I would recommend is there are 2 main books that I would really recommend checking out to form these new habits, to break old habits, and to ultimately rewire your entire existence as an archer when you can. Right now, we have an unlimited amount of time, at least for the foreseeable future, so put in the effort now to make yourself a better human and a better archer. It will pay off. Now, the two books that I would recommend are Unfuck Yourself and Atomic Habits. Now, Atomic Habits is actually a very interesting book. There is a section in the book that they discuss and talk about the British cycling team. So apparently for over 100 years, they had won a medal, an Olympic medal, and had never won a Tour de France. And after changing their atomic habits, changing the small, minute details, changing the things that would only give them a 1% advantage, but continuing to make a 1% change in many different arenas, from using more aerodynamic clothing, hiring a surgeon to teach them how to wash their hands so that way they had less of a chance to be sick, figuring out better massage oils to make them recover faster. You name it, they approached it in a very different manner to look for only an incremental change that added up to a monumental success. 4 years later, they won several Olympic medals. Another 4 years later, they won 4 Tour de France's in 5 years, which was unprecedented, crushed world records, just destroyed everyone from making small, minute changes that added up to a huge change over time. And you can do those things at home. You can do those things on your own. You know, leave no stone unturned. That is always something that I've always said when it comes to archery. I've approached my form and technique to the sickest, most unhealthiest degree because I wanted every single tiny little advantage that could be afforded to me. Same thing goes with my equipment. Why did the tuning experts, why did the equipment manufacturers build their stuff the way they did? And how can I tune and adjust my training? And how can I tune and adjust my bow setup to give me tiny little advantages? Even in my bow setup, there are dozens of tiny advantages that add up to a big difference in how my bow performs compared to my competitors. So all I'm trying to say is just don't leave any stone unturned. If you really want to learn how to change your habits and really form the best habits that make the biggest differences on the smallest, deepest levels, I would highly recommend checking out Atomic Habits. And the second book is called Unfuck Yourself. Now, this book really is my kind of book as far as the approach to making adjustments and changes. I really am a fan of cutting through the fluff and just getting down to business, you know, just giving me the details that are going to make me better. How can I change? How can I make myself better? And that's what I really like about this book. It cuts through it all. You know, it really gives a real direct, no-nonsense approach on how to make these adjustments, how to realize what is going on. Are you willing or unwilling to do certain things? How many things are you willing to change? You know, one of the main things that I really liked about the book is it really breaks down things that you are struggling with in an easy to address fashion and ways to move past them. One of the chapters in the book is I am not my thoughts, I am my actions. Now that is huge. You know, if you can rewire your approach to life to being you are what you are doing, not necessarily what you are thinking, because everyone deals with inner demons, you know, and you really got to just push through, make adjustments, and really focus on the task and the changes that are happening at hand to make you a better person, to make you a better archer, a stronger archer, a more well-rounded archer. Whatever you want to do, you can change and adjust your habits to make yourself better. Now, disclaimer on those two books and the links in the description. Those are Amazon affiliate links. So when you click on those links, I do get a percentage of the sales from that. Even the free sign up, you don't pay anything up front. After 30 days, you can pay if you choose to do so. Even on that free one, I still receive some credit and you get a free book from it as well. So I would absolutely highly recommend signing up and checking out one of those books. And if you do, you help me out and I can produce more free content for everybody back at home. So some other things that I would do right now is I would be treating this like off season. So off season can be approached from different ways. Not necessarily the time immediately after the season is over, because from then on, for a little bit of time, I needed to decompress because the traveling throughout the summer and going to every single event and all that, I needed a bit of a mental refresher. So if you haven't done that yet, you may need to do a bit of a mental refresher. But while I was taking time off, I wasn't completely ignoring what I was doing. I was going deep inside and trying to evaluate how the season went. Were my goals aligned correctly, and did I achieve what I really set out to achieve? You know, I think a big thing in archery is you cannot hide what is actually going on. You cannot hide your limitations, you know, at least from yourself. You know, something that I really loved from Coach Lee that I heard him say when I was just starting at the Olympic Training Center and just taking this archery, seriously, he said, an honest archer is a good archer. So what does that mean? What that person does, what that person thinks and feels, how they adjust, how honest they are with themselves. How did that shot actually go? Why did it go in the 8 ring? Was it me? Was it my equipment? Did I not prepare enough? Did I not train hard enough? What was it? Why didn't it go in the middle? Why did my hand come out when I released? Why did I collapse when I released? Is it me? Was it my head? Physique? Technique? Strength? What was it? Analyze, adjust, and overcome. An honest archer makes a good archer. You know, I would really be using the periodization that I have always suggested. If you haven't checked that out yet, I still would recommend the book that my wife and I wrote, Training for Archery. It's available on my website. Also, I'll put a link in the description below where you can get it on Amazon. If you're a Prime member, you'll get it a little quicker that way. Anyway, this has a great resource on how to train properly using periodization. I've already done a video on periodization, kind of outlining it, so if you haven't yet, there'll be a link in the description below, plus I'll put a card up at the top. So I'm not going to talk about that in this video, but if you're interested in that, you could check that video out. Essentially, what I'm suggesting is right now is the time for you to find your delay in your peak. So how many days, how long after a heavy training load do your scores come back up and then peak? So you can find that out now. Now is the perfect time to do that, and that's when I did it. I did it in the off season. I did it when I had 3 months, 4 months available to completely change and revamp my training system, to discover what actually makes me better at a given moment, and then I can decide when to peak and how to peak for the rest of the season. So that was a huge advantage that I discovered during my off season. I would be evaluating your goals. I would be evaluating the important or unimportant tournaments to you. What matters most? Do nationals matter most? Does states matter least than nationals? Do regionals matter in the middle? What's more important? The Olympic Games, Olympic trials, or the nationals? You know, if your real goal is to go to the Olympics, you have to approach Olympic trials as the most important event of your entire career, because if you don't make the team, you can't go to the Olympics. So you have to really decide what is important. Go inside, figure that out. What's going to make the difference? It might make you a better archer to go shoot some field archery tournaments, so that way you learn adversity. You learn how to deal with different challenges that you're not used to. So when they come up during tournaments, you can make those adjustments, and you are not bothered by the distractions of uneven footing, an unstable platform, lots of wind, rain, you name it. You know, really put yourself in some challenging situations, because you're going to learn how to overcome them. And so when they happen during a tournament, they're not even an issue. Right now, I'd be working on everything involving my archery game, my strength game. So that means working out for the sport, making myself a better human, making sure my body is balanced. I'm not just working out one side because I'm pulling my bow back all day single-handed. I need to be healthy in order to maintain performance, especially when you put yourself under stressful situations. So I'd really be evaluating my strength game and working on my physical ability, you know, how healthy I am as a human being. I'd also be checking on my mental game. Is my mental game good? Am I doing the right things? Is there something that I could be working on to make it better? Do I need to do more visualization, which I absolutely would recommend doing right now? You need to be visualizing going to these tournaments and doing well at them. Not only that, I would take the visualization to the next level. Many people will visualize a good outcome. They'll visualize shooting perfect shots, 10 after 10 after 10, and all the arrows just dropping in the middle. That is a good idea, but what a lot of people don't do is they don't also visualize overcoming adversity. Visualize overcoming the worst wind, the heaviest rain, the hottest day, whatever it is. Visualize seeing a challenge, visualize overcoming it, and visualize the success. That is going to make you a better archer way more so than just visualizing perfect shots in perfect conditions and perfect results. You know, overall, right now, what I'd be looking at is my overall game. Do I need to work on self-care? Do I need to stretch more? Do I need to work out the knots in my back? Do I need to strengthen my legs because I just don't have a stable platform? Whatever it may be, I'm going to be evaluating and figuring out how can I gain 1%. You know, I'm going to be looking at how do I gain 1% here, 1% here, 1% here, 1% here, and it's going to add up. It's going to compound into something big that will reveal itself when everything is all said and done, when we finally go back to competing. That's how I would be approaching it. You know, right now there is no end in sight. It's really difficult to be motivated to get out there. But if you do well, right now is the time to one-up your competition.
Thanks for watching, and thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you want to become a Patreon supporter or check out books, apparel, and some seminar info, head to jkaminsky.com, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you again.